Or wait, I sent also wrong meeting link.
Into Telegram, yeah.
No, it is correct.
The link in Telegram takes us to the Cozy Stack community meeting.
Yeah.
Document.
Give me a second.
Probably this is the reason that
There are
we
not much
have
people.
small amount, it's a small round.
No, the link is correct.
To the document in Google Docs.
Document, yes. Andrei is talking about
Google Meet link, yeah.
about the meeting itself, yes.
Yeah, the meeting is correct.
Okay, anyway, let's have a start. Welcome everyone to our weekly community meeting of ETCD operator development. I'm going to share our meeting notes. Please put your name here if you want to. If you don't want, you can don't put it here. And we have some new members. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah. Well, my name is Mauricio Zambrano. I work for the Square Kilometer Array Observatory, and I am based in UK right now.
That's cool. So we have an idea to develop fully community-driven ETCD operator. We work hard with ETCD to push it to be official one. We are waiting hard for steering committee and establish official ETCD operator meetings. So right now we have such community where we're developing ETCD operator. And yeah, you're right. I put wrong link to the. We have no agenda right now. So we just had the release 030. And let's talk about what is happening here and what we're going to do for the next release. Is there any updates for your design document, Timofey?
No, not really. I had way too much work on my hands for the last week and a half.
Okay. So I think we can take the resizing for the next release. And what about defragment? Do we agree to do this using operator or using separate cron job? What do you think?
I think we discussed it, and I think almost all agreed that it makes sense to do it via operator.
So operator should calculate the needed size and send it to the ETCD cluster. Okay.
I will review meeting notes now. So we definitely discussed it, and I definitely remember that a lot of people wanted to do it via operator, but I don't know, did we agree finally?
Defrag.
No, it seems it wasn't written down.
It was written that it is blocked by scale down, scale up. We wanted to build common ETCD client, and I'm just thinking if we are locked for this client, or can we start working on something else?
But the client was already
Implemented.
merged, yes, and it can be used. But anyway, it will be, as I understand, re-implemented by Timofey.
But it is in fact already merged into main.
So we have common interface for. I would like to put some notes on how to use it. Can you just say me any line of code which I can search and put it into issue?
Try searching for the variable cluster client in camel case. The first one is lowercase, but you're looking in
Yeah,
not our repo. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, so basically that's what you get here. And so if you check the first file out,
Okay, so
yeah,
we create this ETCD client, then append, is it shared map?
basically what I'm getting at is you already have a way to get an ETCD client from an ETCD cluster resource, and you can use that client to do whatever you want with the cluster.
Okay. So what are the next steps? What you gonna do, Timothy, with your pull request for design doc? What you going to do the next step?
I believe we had it. Okay. Yeah, I think I had some trouble with the meeting notes from last week. So we agreed that we need to have a new documentation which points to master, right?
Yeah, correct. But I'm
Mhm.
more about what are exactly steps should be done for implementing this. Can you split it to smaller topics? So I would like to create issues and file them here. Maybe someone could help you with implementation. Do you have any idea in
Yeah.
your mind how can we split it? I mean, I can open this design doc, render it form. So it just looks like huge piece of work.
Yeah, you're right. We had that issue somewhere about writing a function to guess the number of replicas, right?
Yeah, we have this issue. I think we can triage it today a little bit.
Yeah,
Guess
so
the number of
it will help a lot, and it's kind of a blocker.
Okay, I would like to put it to milestone 4.0. Is there anything else which we can put there right now to write structure for this? Probably. It is on you.
Yeah, well, part of it is merged. The part that does not really change any business logic yet. Then we would like that function to guess the right number of replicas.
Andrei, can you upload it?
I guess we could we would need some functions that can compare the specs of our resources to the desired ones. Like you see, like you've got steps where it says, does it have the correct pod spec?
Give me a
I
second.
think there's a bunch of things that we can split among several people. Let me jot that down in our notes.
Andrei, in the past you uploaded this chart to ChatGPT 4.
Yeah.
And did we have any good result that can help us?
I think I can put some structure, but this not only about uploading it to ChatGPT, it is about it's more about testing, reviewing this. I like ChatGPT because it can also write tests, but we should agree on the structure of project. I think the easiest part is to write the structure. I think Timothy right now understands it well, better than anyone here. So he could write a structure with empty functions, and we can put implementation for those functions to someone else, or even use ChatGPT for this. And I will just create an issues for every specific small task, so it can help everybody to join and start working on this. Align code. Okay, good. And I would also add resizing. PVC resizing. I will put few issues here. Oh, both phases described here. I think even me, I'll try to fix it and implement for the next release. Let's put it into O for O. And this to O50. Is there anything else we have to do? Yeah, the defragmentation. And we need a design for this. There are two issues. Seems now it is done.
What kind of design do you expect? Because seems it is described in the issue what needs to be done. No?
Probably it is. There is one more thing that we haven't agreed on using this library. The Kubernetes documentation says that ETCD defragmentation is very expensive operation, and it is it makes sense to do this according to this rule, and there is some library which allows you to specify such rules. I think we can also add this rule to the API. I mean, into etcd cluster resource. Not sure how it should be done. I think that we can use this similar format like here. We can talk about this right now. And we can even put some example. etcd cluster simple. Very simple. So we have such example. Something else which we can use. Pod template. PDB. External certificates. I think this is most the best example because we had also options, and we can add some defragment.
You placed it under security, so it's not security.
Correct. And there were some storage as well, persistent. So I'll copy paste it here. So this is how it looks like. Let's put some defragmentation rule here. I think it should be on the top. Do you agree? Or because options is etcd options, and this is like separate job which should be done periodically. How it looks like.
I would put it to separate place like defrag options or defrag settings, something like this.
Agree.
Wait a second. Did I just see a container spec for the defragmentation? Like
You
a
mean
sidecar that runs it or what? You just had it open in some tab. Yeah, I think it's called, you've got the tab, etcd defrag.
what do you mean?
Yeah, open this tab. Okay, so this apparently runs as a as a cron job. Okay, and it has
a single parameter defrag rule. So we have to specify schedule and defragmentation rule. Do we need any?
You know, the thing is that I'm. How will this be implemented in our operator? Shall we also create a cron job or what?
We agreed that we should invoke this task from the operator directly using etcd client.
You know, the thing is that the reconciliation schedule of the etcd cluster and of the defragmentation job, they're very different. And when you trigger a reconcile, you don't know if you have triggered it to defragment the cluster or for any other reason.
Correct. So we probably need some ticker, or we need separate job which will go and do defragmentation for every, I don't know, 10 minutes. It will run and check this rule.
And you in the past you wrote about some approach with these scheduled jobs in operators, but I really don't remember the details. Maybe through some annotations or through some labels.
Yeah, I had this example in Cube fencing project. There were an idea that during every reconciliation loop, it runs go routine, which will put annotation back to the resource, so it will come back in this amount of time. This is workaround, but it worked. I'm not sure if it is correct solution for this. So yeah, that's correct. We can put some timestamp when the last time defragmentation was done. And then during reconciliation, create go routine, which will wait until the next time we will run the next defragmentation. I think.
And
but
now
I
we're
don't like-
basically re-implementing the logic of a cron job.
Yeah, I don't like this idea. So I think we
And
can
in fact, I
go-
mean, the reconciliation loop, it has, what do you call it? It has the API to do what you're talking about. You don't actually have to put in a ticker with the most recently seen defragmentation. The way it's done with cron jobs is that it can calculate when the next time to run the cron job is, and then it just exits the reconciliation loop with a result of requeue after however many minutes it needs to be requeued after.
I'm okay with using cron jobs, but there were just an idea that we can use the same ETCD operator for running those jobs.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm basically guessing that we might need some auxiliary resource to do this.
You mean like separate CR?
Yeah, something like that.
In this way, we need separate controller as well.
And why do you think that we need a separate custom resource?
Because otherwise, you never know why exactly you are doing a reconciliation. Why is it that you are reconciling an ETCD cluster in the namespace 123 with the name 456? Is it because the time has come to do a defragmentation, or is it because a stateful set has changed, or some resource was deleted or modified or whatever? You never know.
What if we will create a single map in our ETCD operator, which will hold all the existing and manageable ETCD clusters? And we will create a ticker which will go over this map and run this rule for every specific option, like every minute, for example. So we can control this map from the operator because we have reconciliation loop, and we can enable and disable it every time.
As Timofey is talking about cron job, so as we are like coming back to the discussion, so I just want to tell that if we want to use cron jobs, then maybe we should use just Helm chart with different hooks and jobs just that are described. So we are creating operator to manage ETCD independently, and cron jobs are not easily controlled, and they are not easily monitored. So I would say it's hard to monitor the successful job or not successful, or and have some logs about this defragmentation. So I wouldn't like to have cron job by these specific reasons.
This
And,
is good idea that using operator, we can also put some information that last defragmentation was done here at this timestamp.
I
some
just had a
metrics.
thought
Yes.
that maybe you don't actually need a separate custom resource, but you might want to have a separate controller. Like it may be like, can you picture two operators that monitor the same resource?
I think this is not a problem in case if we have. Yeah, if we update one resource, it will be reconciled every time when we update this information that defragmentation was done. What about writing this information into status object?
You don't need to do that.
Why?
How does it help?
I think we can add additional condition like last defragmentation check and the state true false if it's okay or not. And from the spec, we have to just let users to configure schedule, or I think we don't even need to let users configure scheduling, but to let them configure the specific rule. And just to check it every minute, for example. So if we will let them configure the rule for defragmentation, the actual operation will not be running even if we check it every minute, correct? So we can run it idempotently every minute, the check itself.
How frequently defragmentation can be done? Like when people use a ETCD as usual. So it seems to me that it's not done every day, and checking every minute is too frequently.
I
No?
agree, but ETCD Kamaji example, they running this every 10 minutes, I guess.
Generally, it is not the reason since somebody runs it to do
Yeah. I don't like this idea, but that makes sense that someone would like to run this configuration. So I think if we run, every 15 minutes. So I think if we will do the check every minute, it shouldn't be a problem because we can also check the state of this cluster.
But
or
why do you need to check for something every minute? I don't understand.
If it's full enough to run defragmentation.
But you've got a schedule to run this defragmentation.
Yeah, the main idea is not use schedule, but provide an option for controlling the size. So we can let user just to specify this rule and don't even let them configure any scheduling.
I'm afraid that that people anyway will want to have some schedule without any rules. I'm not sure, of course. I haven't used ETCD so much, but usually people want to have it under their control, not rely on some metrics.
Okay,
Yeah,
anyway.
You want to have some kind of maintenance window for that in any case.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
So anyway, I think we can try to draw some API and then to talk about the implementation. Do you agree?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
My changes were lost.
Maybe they are in another tab, no?
Yeah, they're here.
Right.
So defrag rule. Do you agree that we need rule? I think we can simply check it in operator.
Could you
Not
please-
really. The reason I don't like this is because I don't want to maintain some kind of restricted mass language.
You are talking about this rule, yeah?
Yeah.
I think the same, yes. So I would, I wanted to ask, what is it? Was it? It looks like Bash. So, and what is the language? What is it?
I guess it has some metrics. We can check. I'll just put it here. ETCD defrag. Check the syntax. Evaluator. I guess this is just variables and some arithmetical operation.
Mm.
So it just says that this variable is more than this, and dB size minus this is greater than this.
Yeah,
it is
fair enough.
or.
Do you have some kind of library that can process these expressions?
I think we can just take this ETCD defrag package and reuse it. Since it is recommended by Kubernetes, I think it shouldn't be a big deal of using it.
It is stable, so it will not be dropped. It has a lot of stars and so on, yeah?
Let's check it out.
Because I think this repo, I saw this person commenting something, I think. This HRTR.
Anyway, it is not very common. So we can also, to don't care about this package and just implement simple defragmentation every, I know, scheduling. So let's use schedule, the same example.
Run schedule, yes. And no problem to use this ETCD defrag. Just if it is dropped, we must be ready to support it ourselves. So that's it.
The only thing what it does, it just checks if this ETCD really requires any defragmentation and allows you to specify this rule.
I think it's fine to use it, just as I told, to be ready to support it.
If you ask me, it would be easier to use Go templates to evaluate these kinds of expressions.
Agree. Anyway, what about doing the less thing we can do is just to specify scheduling and to run this way. And we can always add this etcd defrag rules later. We can also add like, what exactly the rule written here? Oh, it was in the same issue. So dB quota usage, that means that I don't see the difference between these two expressions. I think we can even calculate them automatically. For now, we set dB quota usage to 95% from the PVC size. And dB size, extract dB size in use. It looks like the similar. And this one, I guess, 200 megabytes. So we can add some extra options like rule, for example, what are more than, I know, 80%, and DB size more than 200 megabytes, something like that.
I thought about it, but after that, I'm thinking, is it always or? Will anybody want to use and?
There were some examples of Istio resources where you can specify it in Kubernetes specific form.
You could add a connector value in the middle.
Connector value?
Yeah. Or and.
Like operator. I don't really remember how is it done. I think we can just check it.
Yeah.
And Timofey, you told about Go templating. I didn't get it at all. How to use Go templating?
Like, let me put some example in the chat.
Because Andrei agreed it so fast, since you understood each other.
I mean, that it can be done using Go templates, and in some final step, it should return you true or false.
Yeah.
We had some old design. I'd like to copy condition from it. Yeah, something like that. Do we need any specific condition for describing if the fragmentation was successful or not? I would like to keep it because this information can be useful.
I think so.
Not sure how to call it.
Kirill, something like this. Because in Go, you already have the text/template library. And so this would be natively parsable. We won't have, well, almost natively. We won't have to invent anything ourselves.
Then we just need to read these several 5 or 6 variables that we saw in this ETCD defrag, yeah?
Yeah, put them into the values map and just template this to...
Clear. Okay. No, I know what is Go templating. I just didn't understand how to use it. Okay, I think it's fine. So just to provide several variables to the user and tell that they can use it with Go templating.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's fine, yes. Yeah.
I like this syntax more. I think I can check how it should be done in Kubernetes native way, and then I'll send it to the chat so we can discuss it later.
Okay, yeah, fine.
So for now, it seems that we have to do this. We have these 3 tasks. The huge one is to implement the flowchart by Timofey, And there are 4 tasks. The first one for function which guessing amount of replicas. We need comparison function for objects like pod spec and desired pod spec. We need to align code to structure for proposed design. And then we will start writing the implementation for the REST functions. It's about flowchart. This is doc. It should be merged into the documentation side. The next task is resizing. I think sometimes I will find a time to do it by myself or find someone who can help me with this. And defragmentation. We didn't agree on implementation first, but we can start discussing the design. In this way, I performed this object, so I will find the correct way and I will put it into chat so we can discuss it later. In this way, do we have any other topics to talk about?
Could you please open issue with this function that you wrote?
Yep.
So I didn't get one point. Why do we have this if value is greater than value is guessed, save value into guessed variable? Why greater? Why not smaller?
Because it is better for us to choose the greater value. In case if we choose too small value, we will not be aware of other replicas which can be existing. If in case if we run more replicas than need, it is not critical for us. So we can remove them in the next reconciliation cycle. And also clean up the resources like PVCs. So finally, we always take the information of the correct metricas from member list if it's not available. So we have 2 sources, is Kubernetes endpoints and persistent volumes claims.
Well, in fact, at the point where you've got the step of value is greater than the value in guessed, well, no, at the first instance, the guessed value is 0, so that would always be fine. And if we didn't get any endpoints, then we never get to that step. Yeah, so in fact, this is redundant. You start with the guessed equals 0. Okay. You after reading endpoints, you read persistent volume claims in any case.
No, you mean here.
Yeah,
there are no return. So we
so
use
at this
both.
point, yeah, on the first line that it says if value is greater than value in guessed, at the first instance of this line, right above the persistent volume claims, it definitely is greater than the value in guessed because before that it was 0.
So do we agree on this design?
And then you go on to read the persistent volumes. Okay. You got the endpoints you found, no, and if you found some endpoints, that's some indication. That means you've already got some pods running. But maybe you've got some more persistent volume claims and adjusting. I think that's fine.
Now it's more clear to me. Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
I didn't get it first so that we can have only 0 there. So if we have something, then we will stop. Yeah, clear.
In this way, that's it. Any other topics to talk about? So in this way, I'm going once, I'm going twice, and thank you everyone to attending this meeting. See you next week, same time.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.